Hello everybody. So today we're going to present the collection of the data in our experiment. As you can tell, we're in the final step of actually building the kit. Our windmill is complete based off the instructions. As you can tell, we have the light and everything else connected to gears. But this setup is not what we need for the final experiment of collection of data. So what we're going to do is just an easy steps. So removing the light, disconnecting this wire. Inside of your kit, you're going to have a plastic battery holder as such. You can use the green one or the blue one, it does not matter. What we're going to do is we're going to use these two prongs and connect it right here in these two holes in order to be sturdy. After that, we're going to hook up back the wire into the battery holder, and that is all we have to do. Okay, what I have here is the actual paper that you're going to be filling out the data that you collect. It also has the instructions of how to use your multimeter and what settings to put it, and how to use your leads based off the battery holder. Okay, another thing is we are going to be shifting the angle of the blades based off this red piece. Now if you notice, this piece goes like this forward. I'm going to show it this way in order so you can see how we spin it around. So what we're going to do is you're going to spin it counterclockwise. Whenever you're going to do 0 degrees from the original instructions of the kit, it's going to be like this. Whenever you do 45 degrees, all you have to do is just spin it around and make a diamond shape, as so. Whenever we're going to do 90 degrees, we're going to spin some more until it's another square. And this is how our blade is going to look. So that's the steps in order to change the degrees of the blade. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start our scenarios. As you can see, we have scenario 1, 2, and 3. For scenario 1, you're going to start with your top gear. The top gears are located here in the top row. The bottom gears are located in the bottom row. Now, scenario 1 says top gear has to be yellow, bottom gear is going to be red. For this example, it's actually going to be very hard in order to get some voltage out of this one. So we're going to skip to the one in the bottom. We're going to use the top gear as the small red gear and the bottom gear as the big yellow gear. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with that. Now, we're going to push the gears in order for them to be in mesh, like this. We're going to start with the top being red and the bottom being yellow. One hint in this is you only want a pair of gears to be in mesh, nothing else. So if this one's in mesh, get it out of mesh. Same thing with the blue. They don't have to be touching anything, only these two. And we're set for the gears. Next, we're going to connect our multimeter. In the instructions of the back that I showed you here, we'll let you know how to set it up. We're going to put it in 20 volts direct current. Next, we're going to grab our leads and connect it into the battery holder. And we'll remove this in order to make it easier for you to see. We're going to connect our red lead inside the negative side of our battery holder in order to make it easier for us. You put it back on there. Next, all we have to do is just touch the positive side of our battery holder with the negative lead in order to see how much voltage is being output by our windmill. Okay. Now we have everything set up with the windmill blades and they're 0 degrees. We're going to go ahead and start the fan in order to begin the experiment. Once the fan starts running, you're going to have the windmill working. In order to see how much voltage output you have, is just poke it with the lead and you should have a reading. As you can tell right now, it does fluctuate a little bit, so just take the one that you believe is the most highest one that you see on the multimeter and the lowest measurement. So in here, the highest that I've seen is 0.26. The lowest is 0.22. Once you have those numbers, go ahead and turn off the fan. We're going to go ahead and input them in our paper here. So the lowest is 0.22. Highest was 0.26 volts. As you can tell, there for the lowest and the highest. You're going to continue to experiment by changing the blade angles again and reading the measurements for each different blade angle. And after that, you also have to do it for each different gear ratio that you have. The gear ratio for this one, it's going to be 1 to 3. The gear ratio for the blue and blue, like this, is 1 to 1. And the gear ratio for the yellow to red is going to be 3 to 1. So that's pretty much it, what we have to do in order to collect our data. If there's any questions, please let us know. Thank you.